If your garden soil seems compacted, parched and barren, or if plants fail to thrive, no matter how much compost you mix in, the issue isn't nutrient shortages. It's a missing biological component. Earthworms serve as the vital drivers that turn plain dirt into thriving soil. Without them in the system, growth grinds to a halt. The upside: you don't have to buy worms or wait ages for them to show up naturally. A straightforward buried activator can spark rapid change. By placing the proper substance underground correctly, worms will zero in, proliferate, and revitalize your soil from the bottom up, far beyond what any fertilizer achieves. Why prioritize earthworms over fertilizers? They're not just residents of healthy soil, they engineer it. As they burrow, they create channels that improve aeration and drainage in dense earth. While eating, they process organics into castings packed with nutrients plants can use, helpful microbes and growth-promoting compounds. Worm-rich soil retains far more moisture, fights erosion better, and delivers steady nourishment rather than sudden floods. Lacking worms, soil hardens, roots fight for space, and crops rely totally on added amendments. Drawing in worms isn't a mere bonus, it's the bedrock of enduring productivity. What drives worms out of gardens? Many practices accidentally push them away. Constant digging ruins their tunnels, exposed dirt bakes and desiccates. Chemical fertilizers and salts wipe out the microbes worms eat. Even compost, if spread wrongly on top, fails to lure them downward. Worms aren't chasing nutrients by themselves. They seek consistent dampness, cover, and organics that decay slowly to nurture microbes. That's where burying shifts the game. Offering an irresistible underground feast is the secret. The quickest path to booming worm numbers involves interring moist, carbon-heavy organics that sustain microbes over time. Top choices include waterlogged cardboard, torn paper, rotting leaves, or half-rotted vegetation. Cardboard stands out. It soaks up liquid, decomposes steadily, and forms a shady haven worms adore. It echoes the bark litter in woodlands. Placed shallowly underground, it turns into a microbial hub where worms settle, dine, and breed. How deep should you go for best results? Depth is crucial. Too far down cuts oxygen and stalls breakdown. Left exposed, it dries out fast. Aim for 4 to 6 inches beneath the surface. Start with a shallow ditch or hole. Lay the soaked cardboard or stacked plant scraps, flat, never balled up. Top with the dug soil and water lightly. Microbes colonize in days, drawing worms right behind. Soaking transforms the process. Dry stuff deters worms surprisingly, but wet draws them. Fully drench cardboard or paper first. Plain water helps, but a microbe boost skyrockets success. Blend 1 cup of worm castings or mature compost into 1 gallon of water, stir well, steep for an hour, then use it to saturate the material. This kickstarts breakdown and releases senseworm scents from afar. Post-burial, bacteria and fungi rush in, claiming the spot within hours. Worms follow to munch the microbes, not the material directly. Feeding there, they deposit eggs. Each can yield several offspring in ideal spots. In 2 to 4 weeks, tunnels radiate from the site. Soil darkens, softens, and works effortlessly. Roots track those paths to reach deeper water and food. This approach breeds worms long-term, not just temporary visitors. Surface feeding pulls them up briefly, but burial builds a permanent home. With ample food, moisture, and protection underground, worms are much more inclined to settle in and start breeding. That's the crucial distinction between merely seeing some worms pop up after rain and establishing a lasting colony in your garden soil. Since the buried organics decompose gradually below the surface, they sustain the worms for months on end, not just days. Once a buried pocket fully breaks down, the worms expand outward on their own, distributing nutrients across the whole planting area. How frequently should you do this? 1 round of burial offers benefits, but doing it repeatedly drives real change. In typical garden beds, Aim to enter organics every 4 to 6 weeks in fresh locations. By season's end, worm channels weave through the bed, yielding vibrant, fertile earth. For fruit trees or perennials, place material once a year near the plant's drip line. Worm numbers build reliably, with little interference. Mulch plays a vital part in sustaining worm activity too. Burying works wonders by itself, yet top-layer mulch seals the deal. Applying 2 to 4 inches of leaves, straw, or chips maintains cool, damp conditions. Worms venture up at night for meals and burrow back safely by day. Exposed dirt, however, bakes and parches, pushing worms deeper or out altogether. Mulch transforms those buried resources into an enduring worm corridor. Several pitfalls can derail worm growth entirely. Digging organics too far down, say, smothers the microbes worms depend on. Oily or salty scraps from the kitchen ward off worms, rendering the spot hostile. Allowing dryness stops breeding cold, while tilling shatters burrows and crushes eggs. Steer clear of that for sure. The approach shines with minimal soil disruption and steady wetness. What makes it outperform straight compost addition? Compost boosts soil nutrients, sure, but worms enhance structure and microbial life. Delivering food straight to subsurface worms skips compost's typical maturation time. They process the material into castings right at root zones. This accelerates living soil creation by jump-starting the full underground ecosystem beyond mere organic input. Earthworms thrive when beckoned properly, no purchase required. Bury suitable stuff at ideal depth amid wetness and life, and they arrive swiftly, burrowing, breeding, and revitalizing Earth like nothing else can.